It may look good for a few days, but soon the mold returns. I remember the day I truly understood this. Excited, I set a personal challenge. If I closed a certain number of cleaning contracts, I would reward myself with a new suit. I closed the deals, got the money, and do you know what I did? I paid an overdue bill, bought useless things, and kept wearing the same worn-out suit that scratched my legs every time I moved. Why didn't I keep the promise I made to myself? Inside me, I was still the broken man, lacking discipline, who never felt worthy of dressing well. The new suit did not fit the old image I had of myself. Today, I realize this is exactly what happens to those who try to change their lives using only willpower. You might follow a diet for a few weeks, wake up early some days, save money for a month. But if your inner image remains that of a lazy, indebted, or failed person, everything reverts to the old pattern. It's like a rubber band. You stretch it, but once released, it snaps back. That's when I decided to break that rubber band, and I did it in the simplest way, by making small promises to myself and following through until the end. If I promised to wake up at 6 o'clock, I got up even when I was dead tired. If I said I would save $10 American, I set it aside before spending anything. I trained my mind to believe in me again. And do you know the most beautiful part? Each fulfilled promise creates a crack in the old self-image. Every small victory reprograms the autopilot that makes you repeat old habits. It's not motivation, it's construction, brick by brick. You can try this today. Choose one small thing, but do it with discipline. Maybe it's drinking 2 liters of water, maybe walking 10 minutes, maybe going to bed 1 hour earlier. The size doesn't matter. What counts is showing your brain that you now keep your promises. This is real personal strength. I know entrepreneurs who earn millions, but still spend as if they were broke. You know why? Because their self-image hasn't changed. The money came, but the mind didn't catch up. And I know simple people who start by saving small coins, but build a millionaire life because they first change the way they see themselves. You are capable of all this. You don't need a miracle, just one new habit at a time, aligned with a new image of yourself. And never forget, habit isn't a prison, it's a tool. Use your habits to sculpt the person you want to become. Do this today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, until it becomes as natural as breathing. And if one day you slip up, it's okay. Start over. Don't destroy everything because of one mistake. That's how you build a strong mind, a firm character, a life that doesn't regress. Autopilot obeys only the one who writes the new script. So write yours and make it the only acceptable version of who you will be from now on. I want you to understand once and for all that imagination is not child's play. Imagination is the spark of every real change. I've seen people study and study, but never feel anything true about what they wanted. The result? Nothing changed. What drives everything is the emotion you connect to that image. I clearly remember one night in my car, stopped at a red light. A mental image alone is like a car without fuel. It looks good, makes noise, but won't take you anywhere. I had just left a meeting where, shy and quiet, I had watched a great speaker on stage receiving applause from everyone. Inside the car, I closed my eyes and pictured myself on that stage. I didn't just imagine, I felt my heart racing, the warmth of the lights, and mentally heard the applause. Even alone, I was living it as if it were truly happening. At that very moment, I stopped being the invisible man and became the person stepping onto a stage to change lives. This is how it works. It's not merely writing beautiful phrases in a notebook. It's feeling every word deeply. It's moving to the point of tears if necessary, because your subconscious cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly experienced in your mind. That's why those who dwell on worries for hours become anxious and ill. The mind believes it and makes it real. So why not use this power in your favor? Imagine now, if you woke up tomorrow completely free of debt, in full health, and with boundless energy to accomplish everything, how would you feel? pause for a moment. Close your eyes and let your chest fill with joy, as if it were already true. Do this many times throughout your day. I have practiced this for years and continue to do so. I write, I speak out loud, I close my eyes and dive into this mental movie repeatedly until my brain accepts it as normal. And do you know what happens? The outside world starts to comply. The right people appear, opportunities open, coincidences become routine. It's not magic, it's a natural law. Some doubt it, but the evidence is clear. Neuroscience studies reveal your brain cannot distinguish between a real experience and one intensely imagined. That is how Olympic athletes train impossible jumps without moving, and how visionary entrepreneurs build fortunes before earning their first dollar. They feel success before touching it. You can do the same, but you must stop imagining only tragedy, debt, and failure. Spend more time feeling the future you desire than complaining about the present you dislike. Want to know the secret? Remember this: emotion is glue. It's what makes the image stick in your subconscious until it becomes automatic action. That's why I say, write, read, declare. But above all, feel it. Feel the taste of what you want to achieve. Feel proud of being the person you dream of becoming. If you can't feel it immediately, imagine it until you do. It's a matter of practice. I've done this while flying, standing in lines, driving. The place doesn't matter, frequency does. Each time you do this, you nurture the new version of yourself. The old version weakens and eventually fades away. If you ask me today, what is the greatest power a human being can wield, I will answer without hesitation. It is the ability to imagine with emotion every day until it becomes real. This is the key that unlocks any door, and only you can turn that key, no one else. So start now, not tomorrow, now, as I speak. Close your eyes, see it, feel it, live inside it, what you want to see outside. And do not stop until you feel it is already yours. Because when this happens inside, the whole universe conspires to make it real outside. Have you ever realized that most of the things you fear the most will probably never actually happen? And ironically, the very things you desire deeply may also never come true, unless you completely transform the image you hold of yourself. Yes, I understand that might sound crazy, but that is exactly why I am here, to challenge your thinking, to disrupt your usual logic, and to open the door that separates you from everything you long for. Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe the fear that paralyzes you isn't even truly yours? The fear that stops you from moving forward might have been implanted in your mind long before you even learned to write your own name. Now here is the part that might blow your mind. Right this very moment, you already possess everything needed to achieve absolutely anything you want, whether it's wealth, freedom, health, or success. The only barrier standing in your way is the image you have of yourself, and that image can be changed, like updating software. But the real question is, are you willing to reformat your system? Do you truly believe that the fear holding you back is something solid, real, and unbeatable? I know exactly how it feels to believe that. I spent years of my life buried up to my neck in debt, owing money to everyone and not knowing how to get out. I woke up and went to bed with a knot in my throat thinking, what if I fail? What if I try and everyone finds out I'm not good enough? But let me open your eyes now. Fear is not a concrete wall. It's just an idea repeated so many times in your mind that you believe it's law. Here's something interesting. Recent studies reveal that over 80% of the things people fear never actually come to pass. Yet most live as slaves to this illusion. I see so many talented, motivated people who don't get up from their chairs because they imagine disasters that exist only in their minds. Want proof of this? I have worked with millionaires, top executives, elite athletes, and guess what? The fear is the same. The only difference is that those who succeed in life understand that fear has no power. It only obeys those brave enough to face it head on. Let me share a moment that still sends chills down my spine. Years ago, when I was a firefighter in Toronto, we had to climb a massive ladder during fire combat training. I had an irrational fear of heights. I climbed shaking, my heart pounding as if it would burst from my chest. One day, halfway up the ladder, I stopped, looked down and thought, if I go back now, this fear will follow me forever. I took a deep breath and climbed all the way to the top. That is where I learned fear doesn't disappear. It dissolves when you pass through it. Now look at your own life. How many ideas, projects, or important conversations have you postponed because of this fear disguised as prudence? Have you thought that maybe what you want the most lies just beyond this fear? Imagine for a moment, what if tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you decide to face just one thing that scares you today, a phone call, a proposal, or a decision? What would change in your life in 1 month or in 1 year? I want you to put this to the test. Pick something that makes you break out in a cold sweat just thinking about it, and do it, even if your hands are shaking. When you take that step, notice how fear will try to scream in your mind, inventing countless excuses to make you stop. Ignore it. Go ahead and do it anyway. Once it's over, I promise, fear loses its grip and you build emotional strength. I've witnessed this countless times. One story that still moves me, a woman who started as my secretary, terrified of public speaking. Today, she's a partner, leading international teams and addressing large audiences. She didn't kill her fear. She confronted it until it no longer mattered. Now I ask you, will you keep feeding that fear with excuses or swallow it whole, like I did on the stairs, like she did on stage, like anyone who achieves great things does every day? Because in the end, those who live in fear die without ever knowing what they were truly capable of. And that is not what I want for you. I want you to taste the freedom that exists only on the other side. So go ahead, face it. Do what needs to be done, then come back and tell me who was stronger, you or the fear. I learned in the hardest way that the life we live outside is just a reflection of the image we carry inside. For a long time, I thought to earn more money I had to work longer hours, push harder, and please more people. And guess what? Nothing changed. I changed jobs, changed cities, but my bank account stayed empty and my mind grew heavier. One day, I came across a book that changed everything. It wasn't the book that worked magic, it was what I saw in it, the truth that I would only earn more, live better, and be happier if I first saw myself as someone worthy of all that. It seems simple, but it's not. Look carefully at your life right now. Do you truly believe you deserve to prosper? Or deep down, do you feel money is hard to get, success is for a few, and peace is a luxury? I discovered that the world doesn't pay you what you're worth. It pays you what you believe you're worth. And if you doubt yourself, guess what? No one will pay you what you don't first pay yourself in your mind. Do you know why? Because your behavior, your words, your decisions all follow the standard of value you set for yourself. I remember well when I earned only $4,000 a year. I lived in debt, borrowing to pay other debts. I was ashamed to talk about money. And you know what? If I had won the lottery back then, I would have lost everything in a matter of months because my internal image was one of scarcity and failure. It's no different from many famous people you've seen go bankrupt. It's not bad luck, it's self-image sabotaging everything. But when I accepted I needed to change how I saw myself, it was like turning a key. I began studying who I wanted to be. Every day, I wrote down the income I wanted to earn, the lifestyle I wanted to live, and how I wanted to be seen by others. I spoke these things out loud to myself. I behaved as if it were already true. Gradually, my mind began to adjust. What happened? In less than a year, my earnings grew to 40 times what they were before. Consider Oprah's story. Abused, discriminated against, and humiliated during childhood. Had she followed the low self-image imposed on her, she would have faded into obscurity. Instead, she chose to see herself as someone valuable. Today, she is wealthier and more respected than many heirs of great fortunes. Now think about yourself. Do you respect yourself? Do you truly believe when you say you will change your life? Or do you deceive yourself and then accept failure as normal? Stop focusing on bills, your boss, or the government. Those are consequences. The starting point is your mind. The thermostat controlling your success is inside you. Some say, "I'm just unlucky." I say luck is the name you give to the moment when your self-image finally opens you up to opportunities that were always in front of you. If you see yourself as small, you avoid great things. If you see yourself as great, you attract greatness. It's that simple. So here's what to do. Starting today, every single day without fail, write on a piece of paper, "I am worthy of earning the amount you want. I am worthy of being loved. I am worthy of being happy." Say this while looking yourself in the eyes in the mirror. It will seem silly at first, but this is exactly how you replace the old mental file with a new one. I'm living proof. I had no diploma, no inheritance, no one betting on me. Yet today I teach millionaires how to double their wealth. Not by magic, but because I rebuilt the image I had of myself. Now I challenge you. The question is not if you can have more, but if you believe you deserve more. You do deserve it, but you will only get it when you truly believe it. And no one can do this for you. Have you ever wondered why you repeat the same mistakes year after year, even when you swear this time will be different? I experienced this so many times I lost count. I told myself, enough with debts, enough empty promises, enough procrastinating. But what happened? Days later, there I was, spending money I didn't have, letting bills go unpaid, postponing changes I had promised myself to make. I learned through much pain that you cannot change a habit without first changing its root. The image you hold of yourself, it's like painting a moldy house without fixing the leak.